All right, we're both going to talk to you a little bit. We're going to get started. Why don't you start first?
Okay,
You had some
all
great
right.
ideas. So
Well,
take some notes. Take
Yeah.
some notes. April's got some good stuff here tonight.
only comes from practice. We all get better the more we do it. You know, I wanted to spend a little time. We've actually had a flurry of new people get started personally as distributors, you know, as we all get better. But, you know, one of the things that you're going to come across, and it really has nothing to do with you, and that's the main thing I want you to understand, is you're going to get objections. And maybe you've already heard this, and maybe you've bought the objections, but you're going to hear somebody say they don't have any time, they don't have any money, they don't know anybody. And I so often think that that is an objection, not because they really don't have any time, money, or contacts. And we'll talk about how to answer those. But I think they're throwing that out there because it is easier than accepting the challenge to get started. They just don't see, you know, themselves doing this business. And a lot of time it's because they don't understand our business. You know, I think if the world understood our business,
The world would be in our business.
Yeah, they would, you know. And so it's really our job, but sometimes it is so hard. I think the closer you know a person, the harder it is for them to understand. I actually had a school friend that was actually in our wedding party reach out today, and I'm like, oh no, here we go again. You know, because I feel like, you know,
That was a couple of years ago, folks.
I feel like she sat on the sidelines at least through, you know, what did social media come? Maybe 2010. So let's say maybe only the last 10 years that she's really been just, you know, watching my Facebook, and as I go on to Instagram, and she's following me on TikTok now. And so, you know, I guess you could say she's a stalker. I don't know, but, you know, but today she actually reached out and she asked me, you know, how I was doing on TikTok. And I happen to know because on TikTok, every time somebody watches it, you know, it's kind of like stories. If you don't know, I know my mother and a few other people didn't realize that every time they look at a story, I know that they looked at that story. So,
And so does everybody
Right.
else. Okay. So keep that in mind.
right.
When you look and you
No.
watch somebody's story, they know you watched. Okay. So
But just so funny. So, you know, again, I really truly think it's because people don't understand, or even more importantly, they don't see themselves. The self-esteem is not there. And so, you know, I think it's really our job to continue to follow up. And that's why, you know, when you think about the number of touches, you may have to reach out to a person. It's because, you know, we don't sit on the phone with these contacts, nor should you at any time sit on the phone with them for half an hour, 40 minutes, going over why they should do the business. It's these little touches, these little nudges, I'm going to say, as you're going along, just continually painting this picture, because, you know, there's two types of people. Some people, they just don't see it, again, because it's a very different business than any business out there. Or sometimes, you know, particularly the guys, they'll just jump in before they truly even understand the business. Neither is good or bad. I mean, it doesn't matter, but, you know, I want you to spend time with people, particularly when they give you these objections, because they think they use the no money. They kind of use that as a badge of honor these days. Like it's super cool to say that, you know, I don't have money to start that. And they think that, you know, that's an easy out for them. But you know what? Never has there been a better business for somebody to start than somebody that doesn't have the money to do it? I mean, you think about it, earning 40%, and I'm going to challenge you to go one further. If you come across somebody that says they don't have the money, just say, great, I'll help you get your first few customers and I'll give you back that 40%. I don't need to make that. I'm more interested in the long game of our company and getting you to be successful so that you can help others to be successful. So I want you to think about helping people get started, as opposed to a lot of times we try to put them into different positions, but there are a lot of ways that you can help people get started in this business. And when you think 40% on our Try Synergizer, I mean, they make $40 every time they do recommend that to someone. And I tell you, we are loving sampling the Try Synergizer. I'm loving getting people on it. When I talk to people, you know, particularly about the NAD and 100% activation, and you're going to feel this, and they do, they really do. And so, you know, that's been a great hook for us. I want you to if someone just buys NRF2 because they see all the science, send them samples of the Tri-Synergizer, because I promise you they will upgrade. Everybody has, because they love how they feel on it. So the next time somebody says they don't have any money, explain to them more how, you know what, you can start making 40% immediately. What kind of job could you do that would pay you $40 for 15 minutes of explaining to somebody else to take the Tri-Synergizer? I mean, what is that, like $160 an hour? I mean, you know, I guess that's maybe what a brain surgeon would get. I don't even know, but you know, you can make a lot of money in this business just by sending a text to somebody, sending a video to them, and then getting somebody on the phone to do a three-way with you. You know, and we've been more than open. I don't care if it's product. I don't care if they don't understand anything. You know, we're happy to help, but don't take that first no of no money. I mean, because that's just, that they're just trying to get away because they're uncomfortable, because they don't understand the business, and you just need to spend a little bit more time with them. You know, the other thing is they're going to say no time. Well, you know, you're looking at this ITT system that we have, again, sending a text to somebody, and you all have done the power hour with Bobby on Thursday nights. You can, what are you averaging, 25 texts in an hour or something?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you could reach out to 25 people easily in that hour. But let's say you only could do it for 15 minutes or 10 minutes and you reached out to 4 or 5 of them. You know, it's just being more productivity is really what we're looking for, as opposed to just, you know, sometimes we sit down and we don't want to talk to anybody. So no time isn't a thing. I will caution you that make sure that, particularly if you're already working a full-time job, that you have those hours carved in. If you're only going to spend 15 minutes on your business a day, make sure that you say every night at 7 o'clock, I'm going to spend 15 minutes on my business, or every morning at 6 o'clock, I'm going to spend 15 minutes, and carve it in and make sure it gets done. Because it's really easy to, and this is what I went through in the beginning, you know, before we had all technology and stuff. You know, I was so busy working full time and we had the kids and stuff. And a lot of times it would get to be like 9 o'clock at night before I'd remember to do the call that I wanted to, or the follow-up. And by then with traditional phones, it was a little too late. We don't have those time barriers anymore, but you need to just carve in those few minutes. If you're going to do it on your lunch hour, whatever you're going to do, if it's an afternoon break, whatever, but make it a habit of every day spending those few minutes, and you'll be amazed at how your business grows. And then you can do like so many people before you, you know, as you start to make more money in LifeVantage, you have more options. You can hire somebody to clean your house. You can work 4 days a week. You can have somebody wash your car or do the lawn or whatever it is that you really hate doing. Then you go ahead and hire someone there. So, you know, no money, no time, don't buy it. You know, ask them why they think they have no time. How much time? And what I say all the time is, how much time do you think you need? And the big mistake people make with this business is they want it to be like blocks of time. Like it's like a traditional job that you got to go and check in and you got to be there for 2, 3, 4 hours in order to get paid. It is so much not this. In this world of technology, it's send a text here, follow up there, send a text. But again, you know, you got to do a little bit of time blocking. If you're one of those people that's super busy, have a, you know, a super timeful job, which, you know, you need to spend a lot of time on it, just, you got to block it out for it like you would anything else, exercise or anything else you're doing. And then, you know, the last thing a lot of times is contacts. And we all found out how to look in our phones and how many contacts we have there. And I think we were all blown away with that. You know, even doing that June month, the challenge was huge to me, because prior to June, I would have said, I've gone through all the contacts in my phone. And when we started going through it, you know, by each letter, you know, whatever letter you chose, whether it was A or Z or wherever you started, there were people that I hadn't talked to in quite a long time. One of the girls bought product and she's really looking at doing the business. I mean, who would have thought? I just didn't even think of her. I forgot her name was in my phone. You know, and even on a sad note, she was a friend at one point. She actually had a heart attack 3 years ago, and I had no idea about that. Even though she'd been on Facebook, we just didn't cross paths that way. So
wait, and she'd lost 150 pounds in our other company on our old ephedra product. So I mean, this is someone that, you know, we knew.
Yeah. So, you know, shame on us for not doing a better job with our contacts, but we all have more than enough contacts just in our phones, forget about even on Facebook, social media, or other ways. I mean, there are so many different contacts out there. So, I just want you to not let people, off the hook so easily these days, and ask them, if you're not sure what to say, why do you say that? If they say, I don't have any time, well, why do you say that? Why do you think I don't have any money? Well, why do you say that? How much money do you think it, sometimes people think it's a whole lot, thanks to the history of network marketing or multi-level marketing. When we started our first company, the packages were big. So somebody may simply say to you, I don't have the money, thinking that they need at least $5,000 to get started, but that's so not true. So, try to figure out where people are coming from and why do you say that? Why do you think that? And figure out what they're thinking, and just continue to always ask enough questions with people so you can get a handle on where they're coming from, because there's a lot of what we used to call stinking thinking. It's still stinking thinking. They have preconceived ideas about what our industry does, the kind of money that can be spent or not spent, earned with it. And they just don't realize it. So, they may think you just want them to buy product, silly things that they think, but they're not seeing how we can go about making money with that. So again, no time, no contacts, no money is not an option here. We can work through all of that.
The other thing that you may find helpful is you got to learn how to talk to people. Like, you got to meet them where they are and use a language that they know. Okay, we can't use our language like LifeVantage language or network marketing language. And something you really need to get good at is, finding out what means something to somebody, especially if they're using the excuse is money. Okay, now time, look, that's ridiculous, because if you got time to check your phone, text messages, return messages, check your email, look at Facebook, then you got time to do this business. So that one you can just toss out. That's not what they're really saying. Is, how can someone like me earn money in something like that? All right. See, they just don't believe and they don't understand, and they're confused. And they may be confused because they were in an Amway meeting years ago, or an Herbalife meeting, or an NSA meeting. We had the buy-in for our company when we got started, the low number was 5,000. That was the lowest you could start. Okay. We didn't have a $50 distributor kit. Okay. So, but here's what you got to get good with. Okay. You got to get good with showing somebody how they can have or get what they want, and how it translates with our compensation plan. See, April said, for every Tri-Synergizer you sell, okay, that first sale, you make 40% of 100 points, so you make $40, okay? Well, you got to know that every bag of Axio, you make $20, okay? You got to know that every, Vitality stack, you make $50. You got to know every silver pack, you make 100, every gold pack, you make 200, every platinum pack, you make 400. You got to know those numbers. And if it's a hair care system, you make $40. If it's a skincare system, whatever it is, you need to know, so you can say, Mary, listen to me. If we just get 2 people a week on a Tri-Synergizer, there's the $400 to pay your car payment at the end of the month. Okay, you got to use a relationship. I mean, think about this. Why does somebody, and I know Shelly's on here and she owns a restaurant, why does somebody, okay, waitress or waiter on the side, okay, and I know a lot of people do it professionally full-time, but why do they tend to do that on the side on top of their, let's say, their full-time job? Well, they go home with money every night. Okay, between tips, they may wait to the end of the week to get their wages from the restaurant, but they go home with their tips every night. Okay, so you got to understand that people just need to see how they make money, and they don't need to know the big picture. It just depends on where they are. Okay, and you got to meet them where they are, and you got to relate to them. So if it's enough to pay for childcare, if it's enough to make that car payment, if it's enough to supplement the rent, if it's whatever it is, you got to say, hey, it's just 4 of these, it's just 5 of these, and relay it to them in normal, everyday people terms, okay? Not our industry terms. Don't use volume, don't use points, don't use percentages, don't use downline, don't use upline, don't use those terms. Just talk to them like a normal person and just say, you know, 3 or 4 of these and you can have that. And then 3 or 4 of these and you can have that. And then when they're ready to learn, where does it go from there? Okay, you'll show them where it goes from there. But you know, it's only $50 to get a person started, and they need to, you know, they need to have at least 100 points to get paid. So $50 and a product, okay, let's say, you know, anywhere from 50 to 100 points on a product, and they're in the business, and then every product they sell after that, they're over the 100 points, and then maybe the first one they get 30% on, but then after that, where they hit the 200 points, it's 40% from that point on. So we had a few of them the last couple. I'm still wrestling with one through the baseball player friend, and we were at the beach doing business from the beach on Friday, and you know, April was wrestling with someone all day, and you know, it happens. And then you have people that just come in and do a platinum pack. And by the way, it's the best deal that's ever been offered. Okay, so you make sure you're sharing that platinum option with people. And just say, look, there's a lot of options on getting started from as little as $50 and whatever product you want for yourself personally. Always say that. Don't get someone started for just $50 if they ain't using product. They won't sell nothing. Okay, they need to be using a product. But you know, way from there up to, you know, the platinum package, and just give them the range.
But keep in mind, you know, the benefits of this business, and you know, I think subconsciously that's what attracted me. I can think back to when we first got started in the industry. I absolutely loved what I did. We had just had our second baby. We had a nanny in the house, and I was very much torn between what I loved doing for work and my love of wanting to be a mom. But you think about this industry, you can do both. I mean, it has just become super acceptable now. I've seen people, we've been doing a Zoom and they have a cat run across their computer, or the kid is crying, sitting on their lap, drawing on the screen. I mean, when you talk about maximizing your time, I even look at, you know, our kids are all grown. Most of you know that. They've been gone for quite a while. But you look at the schedule I have now. I mean, I play tennis almost every morning. I can go play tennis till 12. If I had a regular job, I couldn't say to my boss, I'll be in at 12 and I'm going to work a little bit later or whatever. You know, you can make your own hours. You can work from the beach. You know, I kind of thought last Friday we had, you know, between doing the EA there and the EA in Europe and all these different trainings, I was kind of like, all right, I'm taking a day off. I didn't take a day off. I was able to work right from my phone from the beach. It was a beautiful day out. So when you think about unlimited income can be earned, working where you want, anytime and when you want, there is not another career, a dentist, a doctor, whatever, could not say, you know, I'm going to take an unlimited vacation and go over to Europe for 6 weeks and I'll be back when I'm back. You wouldn't have any patience. I mean, what about emergencies? You need somebody to cover the practice and forget the overhead of that traditional business. So, you know, sometimes we just need to be, you know, reminded because of how well we have and how great it is. And it is just a tremendous business. And you know, with this product, we are just, if you have not gone to Google Scholar, that was our big EA tip for the whole weekend. That's why I promise you, you need to go to Global in October. It's not what you hear from the front of the room. It's not what you hear on the Zoom. It's what we got the privilege of spending time with other distributors that we would have not spent time with. We never would have had a conversation, but we learned a lot of cool things. So the in-between, the breakfast, lunch, and dinner, the breaks, whatever, is where all those events are so powerful. Plus, we need to see one another too,
So it's, you know, the one thing that has changed dramatically in this business, if you're talking to people about a network marketing business, and let's say they're our age, give or take, well, they probably had some sort of experience with somebody that shared something. And maybe they went to a hotel meeting with them. Maybe they went to a restaurant for a presentation. Maybe they went to an office to see it. And, you know, it was a half hour to get there, an hour and a half in the meeting, you know, and they're thinking 2, 3, 4 hours and all of that. The one thing that has dramatically changed in this business over the last 5 or 10 years is less time is needed. The tools are easier for everybody to use and find. You don't need the slick salesperson from the front of the room pitching the audience. It's all on video or slides or app or whatever now. It became a business where the wallflower at church on Sunday that couldn't lead silent prayer, she wasn't quite that, but can do this business now because the tools are there. Do you have to be able to use your phone? Yes. Okay. You need a smartphone and you need to be able to use your phone. I'm not going to say you don't. Okay. You do need to be able to do that. And if not, you got to figure it out. Okay. So that's the one, figure it out. But everything that you need is there. Somebody will help you close your person if you need help with that. And somebody will help train that person. The only thing that we can't do is make the first touch with that person. You got to do that. Okay. And I'm telling you, it's just getting easier and easier and easier and easier. I can't ever imagine not doing it. I don't care how much money we make in this business. I just love doing it. Okay. April loves doing it. If you ever try and take me away from it, it's like taking candy from me or something. I love doing it. There's nothing else I'd rather do. Okay. So have fun with it. Translate it in a way that they can relate, dollars. You know how a hairdresser does hair and they know that, if a woman comes in and is getting color and trim and this and that, it's $150, whatever it is. Okay. They know they cut ahead, they get this. Okay. We got to talk to them in that way. It's a dollar thing. It's not a point thing. It's a transaction thing. Just make it more common so they can see themselves doing it, because we get paid weekly. And once you're Pro 3, we get paid daily. See, that's the waitressing and waiter thing now. Okay. You get to Pro 3 and you can get paid every day. So now we got the benefits of why people wait on tables and take those jobs, why they they bartend, they go home with cash every day. And our business has those same benefits. People just don't know it. And you and I got to let them know it. So, April?
Cool. I'm good.
Hey, you know where to reach us.
Yes.
Let me just recap. Wednesday, we have our chat and we do really like seeing everybody.
Yes.
We'll post this so your teams can see it. It'll be in the training page on Team Unity. But Thursday, we have our power hour. And we're about 2 weeks to go. Okay. Midnight next Saturday. So we got about 2 weeks. We got to pick up the pace with the enrollments. We got to pick up the pace with the points. There's a lot of things that we can do here in July, and there's a lot of exciting things happening August and September. So let's use the summer to our advantage. It's funny, we're at the beach and we love the beach. We take the Jeep, we have a cooler filled of beverages, both adult and children. Okay. We have a great time, but I'm telling you that Jeep, people can't walk by it without asking, what's a biohacker? What kind of model Jeep is that? What's a biohacker? Instead of saying Rubicon or Safari or Wrangler or whatever, it's biohacker, So even when we're chilling, listening to 70s music with champagne and strawberries, they just stop and ask, what's bio? You just can't get away from it. Your antennae got to always be on and listening at all times, even when you're on vacation. You never know. And April's now conversing with them. They were down here with their 12-year-olds.
Yeah, they have 4 boys. Baseball
mom. They were down here from Cincinnati, probably getting their butt beat by the Southern kids that play year round. Okay. And, and now they're a prospect. Okay. Two ladies, they're prospects. So anyway, have a great night. You know how to reach us if you need anything. Chat on Wednesday, power hour on Thursday, and anything you need in between, give us a ring. Okay. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.